Let's call the meeting to order. Stand and say the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there any corrections or additions to the agenda?
I've been asked to add that to discuss the process of reestablishing voting districts for all of our county commissioners.
Okay.
So toward the end of the meeting, if we
We'll
could
just
have
put
a
that under
short
other
discussion
business.
on the other business.
Sure. Okay. Any further corrections or additions? If not, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Also move.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Minutes have been presented. Questions, corrections?
I read through the minutes. I couldn't think of any corrections.
Is that a motion
I'll
to
make a
approve?
motion, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
I will second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Bills have been presented. Questions? Concerns?
I don't have any.
I've looked through all of them and
Motion
I would
to
make a
approve.
motion to approve them.
Lee moves to approve.
Second.
It's been seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the bills can be paid. You guys gotta sign that. I think there's three copies.
Right here,
One by your finger.
under your phone, please.
Oh, sorry, wrong ones. It's the minutes. You need this back. Sheriff's Department, Dave and Jim, are you see Dave that way? You're up. Vehicle update?
Go ahead with the vehicle.
Yeah, the vehicle update, it's ordered, delivered. They'll call me. They actually got it sooner than they thought they were going to. So as soon as they start the upfit process, they'll get a hold of me, and they said roughly a month after that, we should have it.
Okay.
So that's where we're at with that.
So where they bought it? Where do you buy them? Where do they come
This
from?
one came out of Fergus Falls, Minnesota, the vehicle itself, and it got shipped up to St. Cloud. That's where they put all the cop stuff in.
St. Cloud is the headquarters then for?
For the outfit that's,
When they're
Yeah.
where they're equipped.
Fitting
and
it,
everything,
yeah.
Okay.
yep. The other thing we were looking at, so we have our spare vehicle that we've been using
Right.
for when other vehicles go down.
Right.
That one has, so the new radio system we're going to is called Siren. So that one has a Siren compatible vehicle. Kale's vehicle does not. We had talked about switching, taking the radio out of the old vehicle, putting it into the new one. We seem to be using it enough though, that I'd almost like to have one spare fully set up,
Fully equipped.
like,
Yeah.
ready to go, because I just used it for a week because I blew a tire and they couldn't get tires in for a week for my vehicle.
And I
don't see a
used it for
problem.
4 days.
Yeah.
I had trouble
So-
with the window on my vehicle.
I went to electronic communications yesterday. It'll be about $5,500 for a new vehicle for that one.
To put the radio in the,
Yep,
that would be in Kale's then.
in
right?
Kale's
Yeah.
vehicle, yes.
And then my vehicle is
That would be
going,
new.
Yeah, we already
That
have a
one's-
vehicle for his that'll go shipped out to St. Cloud when it's time.
What's gonna happen with the radio that's in your current one?
That one's gonna be obsolete because it's not capable. So they're going from
The
VHF to
siren.
800
Oh, okay.
megahertz.
Also, it has to be upgraded anyway.
So it has to be upgraded anyway.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that one's just gonna go down the road.
Okay.
that's,
Do we need a motion, guys, or just tell them to do it?
Well, probably should approve it. It's, but you got the budget for it too, so.
Yeah.
yes.
They've
It's in
got
the
enough
budget.
in their budget for that?
Well, they have the sheriff's vehicle fund that we've been putting, like, if there's donation money from like the fundraiser that was
They
done.
had something, yeah.
I think there's like roughly $8,000 in there. There is a machinery, equipment, and vehicle line in their budget, but we did, that's kind of one of the things, the new vehicle.
Came
because
out
of
of that.
Well, because of the donation we received, and that was my question, do we pay it from the donation that we received? Or do we pay it out of the machinery, equipment, and vehicle line?
I would say donation.
I would say
Because that was the
donation
intent of the
also.
donation
Yes,
from the
yes, it
start.
was.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure so we can get that right in our accounting program.
That was the intent, so
Okay.
that's where it should come from.
Okay.
yeah.
And as far as like this radio upgrade, we can pull it from the actual sheriff's vehicle fund that we created for these types of things too.
Is there a motion to get the upgraded radio for,
I will make that motion.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. That would be the radio upgrade that's on the agenda.
Yep.
Okay.
Were you gonna talk about the community or is that later?
I have it on the other business, but we can bring it up now.
We got time.
The Community Foundation did award the county $5,000 to go towards the AED purchase for the sheriff's vehicles.
Oh, good.
The total amount was $10,445, and we will be receiving $5,000 from the community.
So that pays for it.
So,
Okay. That's good news.
About the old patrol car. One with the bad motor.
Oh, our old vehicle, the one that the motor
Motor
is
is
shot on. How do we want to dispose of it, I guess?
What are your thoughts, guys?
Strip it.
I mean, yeah, I'm so
Sell
I'm
it as
thinking
is?
is strip it
On
down
bits?
and, yeah, I mean,
Pull
the
it
body
for
is
it.
fine on it, everything, but the motor's shot.
But the radio and lights and everything are still on it.
Yes,
We have to pull that.
Yeah.
yeah, it'll have to be stripped down with. So, I mean, it's not worth fixing,
No, we agree on that.
so,
That's some in your compound area where a lot of that equipment was, we had a contract to remove it. It's been bought. Do we have any update on that?
we had talked to a local resident here that was supposed to come in to pick everything up, and I haven't heard from him in several months.
Did he pick up
He,
some of the
I
things?
think he
some of
did
the
take,
items?
I think he did take a couple of the vehicles out, but he was, and then the weather got bad and he was not able to get in there.
We didn't, did we put a deadline on that? We did, didn't we?
Thought we gave him 30 days.
30 days. So
Right,
Uh,
30?
Christmas.
can we
Oh,
just take
Christmas?
it
Before
and,
Christmas sometime.
Kenny, can
I
we
think we
haul
can.
that to
I
Bismarck? or-
talked with Dave and he was gonna,
Yeah,
and it's up to you guys, but we can put 4 to 6 vehicles on the logo at a time and just get rid of them.
yeah,
We
I'm,
should do
I'm
that, I
not
think,
going-
because
yeah.
it helps.
I'm fine with that. That's,
Yeah,
sounds like a
it'll be
good,
okay.
yeah,
Warner Brothers or wherever you're going.
whatever, yeah, junkyard, that,
I don't have a problem with that.
Nope, do we need a motion for that?
I
We
think
made a
I
motion
think
to
we've
let it
already
happen.
taken care of it to get
To
rid
get rid
of
of
it,
them.
so I think we should be okay on that.
Okay.
yep,
Yep, take care of it, guys.
Okay. I'll get with you.
yeah,
And you'll both be sticking around. Kenny and I got another thing we gotta bring up here, so,
okay,
another road issue.
all right.
Okay.
Tear down. You wanna take this one, Dave? tear down of the commissioner meeting at the March 13th meeting.
Okay, so I submitted a bill for $100. We had the music students are going to some event this summer, and they tore down all the chairs and tables up at the Civic Center that we did last month, or in February, I guess. So I presented that bill for $100. That's going to the music students, just so you know. It's for a good cause. The kids did it. They swept the floor. They did everything. So it's kind of a public information thing. We're not trying to pull nothing behind anybody's back, but they were good about doing it. Otherwise, the public would have had to do it, or
We'd have stayed.
Rob and Lee and I.
We'd have stayed, yep.
And then it would have cost you $100 of beer and pizza afterwards.
Next one might be you too, Dave. Men's Health Club, Men's Health Month. Is that you, Jane?
Yeah, we received a letter in the mail, asking our county in their executive capacity to declare, June 15th through the 21st as Men's Health Week, and then a proclamation for naming June as Men's Health Month. It just was a kind of a cold call letter that they sent in, and then they called and asked if we received it. I said I'd put it on the agenda for you guys to look at. So
They don't want money, they just want a declaration.
they just want a declaration or a proclamation that we recognize Men's Health Month.
So is there something that comes out about the Women's Health Month? Are they gonna be discriminated
I
against?
asked the same question. I don't know.
Zoe, would you be discriminated against to be
What's the dates on it?
June
June.
15th through the June 19th?
Men's Health
Hold on.
Week, and then it would be
15
the
and
entire
21st.
month of June would be declared as Men's Health Month.
Maybe we should try walk into town for the meeting.
Is that a suggestion or a motion?
Motion.
No.
They called me shortly after I received that letter in the mail, and they said, well, are you gonna do anything about it? And I said, I can't, that's up to the commissioners, I'll present it at the next meeting, and they said, okay, and then they hung up the phone, so.
Is that-
Okay, I'll make a motion that we proclaim Men's Health Month for the month of June. And I expect all men to be at the fitness center. It's only $20 to join a month.
I'll second that motion.
Do I need to include the part about men joining the fitness club in that motion?
No.
No, you can leave that out.
Okay.
It's just a suggestion.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Election Inspector Jaden.
Yeah, so every election cycle, the commissioners have to appoint an election inspector to kind of help run our polling location. This year, I asked Alicia Stagley, who expressed interest in being an election worker like 3 months ago, if she would be interested. So I just need kind of a motion that you guys are okay with me having her do that. All the election workers that I get help with everything. It's not like it's a specific, we just have to, I have to have somebody designated.
So do they have to have off-site training or just training
We
on-site?
do a 1 day, actually it's more like a 2 or 3 hour training here.
Here.
Linda and I put on the training for our election workers. We run them through the process, what it all entails, and then they come in the day before election day and help set up the meeting room here for voting, and then the tables and everything. And then there is something new that the legislature passed this year where we have to do a post-election audit also. So these same workers, maybe not all of them, but a handful will come in, and we will have to do like a hand count audit of a certain percentage of ballots also.
And you got enough people signed up?
I'm waiting for a couple of judges that those get appointed by the district party chairman, so Republican and Democrat. So I'm waiting for an official appointment from both of them. If they don't appoint by a certain deadline, then that would be up to me to choose somebody. I have people that are interested. I have reached out to people, so it's kind of a matter of, I have to wait for them by century code before I can say, well, I have a person to fill that spot, so.
So
But
back to Alicia, she doesn't have to go down for training or nothing.
nope, she'll just
Okay.
come here and train just like the rest of them will, so.
I move that we appoint Alicia then to, as the election inspector.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Clerk of Court funding.
We did receive the official contract for the clerk of court funding that you guys agreed to last month or 2 months ago. I just need a signature on that. And then I can send it back to the state, and then they'll send me the final copy, and then we'll be good for the next 2 years. Thank
Oh,
you.
2 years, okay.
Yeah, it's an every 2 year. It'll start July 1st of 27 and go till June 30th of 29, but they do it a year ahead, so that way it's,
On record.
yep.
Northern Plains Connector.
We received a letter from the Public Service Commission. They send these, every time they, are getting ready to schedule large projects. If there's input from the county or anybody within the county, they just send these notices. So it's just for your information.
For those that don't know what this is, it's a transmission line from Colstrip, Montana through just south of town, goes in, ends up at St. Anthony. We do have a meeting with those folks tomorrow night, or tomorrow, with the weed board to finalize their weed control agreement. I guess that's all I've got on that one.
Have they signed the road use agreement yet? Has that been?
We're not to that point
Okay,
yet that I know
yeah.
about.
They did ask for the draft of what we had with Minnesota Power, so they could start looking at that. So they are aware of the changes that you had brought forth the last couple of years with
Okay.
the suggestions of what you would kind of wanted to see. Not saying that we can't, if you have further suggestions, build on that, but they had asked for what we had had in the past, so I just sent them what we had done most recently.
And I believe you got the email over to Eddy County for their road use
Yeah,
agreement?
he called, I
copy?
think, last week. Yep, so I did send them that.
Go to the county. Is that you or Jim?
Let's wait on that.
Let's wait on that. We're a little bit ahead of schedule. Mr. Petrick, are you ready?
Yeah,
you guys up-to-date copies with some of the revisions we discussed. So B&I here again is here again today to present the revised designs that we've made to the overpass, for the county overpass that would run along on 37th Avenue Southwest. So again, going through just the quick history of this, this was a project we brought over a year ago. Went through multiple public comment periods, a couple special meetings, some stakeholder meetings. The project was approved during the August meeting. Subsequently, you rescinded the motion to do that in January with some concerns around some easement. I guess around easement work. So, we went forward, worked on obtaining some easements, worked on some avoidance in some areas. And then additionally, since our last meeting that happened there in March, we also did some work on revising an approach as well. So going through all that, we basically come to what we're presenting with you today. The only thing that's changed basically since August on this is where that bypass road runs. I think we pointed that out last meeting, on that northwest corner of the drawing. That now is tucked in a little bit. And then since the March meeting that we had with you guys, we showed a true approach on the north end of that, of actually a 40-foot approach rather than was originally depicted as a 20 on the previous design. So those are the only changes that you're seeing from here compared to what happened in August. So I guess our request here from B&I today then would be, since we kind of fulfilled those two requests that were made, is go back to rescind what was previously done, revert that basically back to our August approval. I included for you guys as well a motion and a resolution, which is that first page. There's the first 2 pages of the findings. I think that's one other thing we've discussed is the Public Service Commission will take this as findings that the county actually approved this project, and so those are the findings that we've obtained. I previously sent these in February, then again in March, for your review. So those would be the findings. If you guys are wanting to approve, that would be the motion I would suggest to make today. And if you approve, I would also ask for a copy here today that I think we have it in there signed for the chairman and then also the road superintendent to sign it. So
Questions?
go ahead.
I understand this correctly. I
Yeah.
kind of scratched down some things here.
Yeah.
Need a motion to rescind the motion, to rescind the motion of
So-
the original agreement, making the original document we approved last August, the official document.
That's what I would ask.
Yeah, am I right?
Yeah, so basically what my request would be is to rescind the January motion that happened. That would go back to that we would be back to what was approved in August. The one addition that I'm basically presenting this other motion that Rob has there, is, when we initially approved this in August, the PSC believed that there was not enough findings actually documented by the county for approval. So then they were going to have to notice that. So they thought, that's why we come back to here's what the written findings that would be acceptable from a county to present as an approval.
Okay, on number 11, I had asked you to change that from where it says the chair of the county commission. I asked you to add, and road superintendent.
Yeah, and
And
so
that's not added, or unless I,
I have them so for just right here to be able to sign.
okay, should that be under the wording also, or what are you thinking? So, here he has it that he has to sign too, but it just says the chair of the county commission is authorized to sign. And I'd like it that the road superintendent also be part of that sentence.
Okay. I don't think we can change that wording on that one since I have him signing this document as well.
So you do have the working agreement now with the landowner, so everything is okay and you're,
Yeah, as far as I'll say on the approach side, we met on the approach. Seemed like that went as a productive meeting. That both sides think we can accomplish that approach to maintain access.
good to hear.
Lane, you had a conversation with the landowner this morning. How did that go?
I mean, I guess he can speak to how he felt like it went. I would say that we would agree to disagree, but it was a respectful conversation, and we'll continue to try to work with him.
Okay, do we want to let Dave, anything you want to say? That's up
Yes.
to you.
Yep, go ahead.
David Forsberg. I guess by looking at the diagram, there's still a 4-foot rise from the Lackman Hill to the top of the bridge. And the bridge and the Hall Road is nowhere near the bottom of that coulee. So my feeling is it wouldn't take much to move the bridge a little bit further north. They would still be away from the coulee as far as their water drainage concern is, and they could eliminate that 4-foot rise in the bridge.
So I'll say, these are things that we evaluated through the year-long process that we took to public comment through, 4 different public meetings that we had. This is the best design that we were able to come to with agreements on landowners north, south, east, west, and then also along with the height of it, we've maximized the lowest that we can go without losing drainage around that control structure. If you recall, we held a stakeholder meeting in July, right before that August approval that you guys granted, and in that we also sacrificed another 4 feet off of that bridge, so now we don't get all our equipment underneath it, just to limit some of that exposure to the county of having a lower rise was one of the things that we came out of that. So I'll say again, what's in front of you guys today, no design changes to the structure of the height from what was approved back in August.
Comments, guys?
I move that we approve what's presented to us here.
I guess on my part, being on that road and had a lot to do with it, I'm just gonna step aside for a conflict of interest?
It's not a conflict of interest, Dave.
Well, I said it was.
Okay.
I'll respect that. I'll second the motion. I'll respect
Not to be
that.
disrespectful to
No,
you.
well, no, I'm saying under the law, that doesn't
Right.
constitute as a conflict of interest.
Okay.
And
Nope, I'm good with that. Yeah, you have a motion in second.
Jaden, would you feel comfortable reading the motion as it's gonna be presented in the minutes? So everybody knows what we're talking about?
As was presented in this.
That,
We would like you to read all of it. I absolutely.
well, let's just do the bullets.
Starting probably at now would be therefore be resolved.
Right.
Yep, I can do that. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Oliver County that the commission has jurisdiction over the subject matter of the petition and the road involved, that the notice of hearing on said petition was duly served and published as required by law, that the temporary closing of said road does not deprive adjacent landowners access to their property, that a public benefit exists in temporarily closing said road, and that the interests of the public and landowner will be protected. B&I will be financially responsible for the construction of any and all replacements to private landowner access approaches or routes to a standard equivalent or better to what existed prior to removal as determined by the county engineer. B&I will inform the commission when the construction of the overpass is completed, at which time the commission may accept the road for public use. The construction plans for the County Road 37th Avenue Southwest Overpass are approved together with any minor revisions as recommended by the county engineer. The overpass development agreement as presented is approved with any minor modifications as may be necessary to carry out the intent of the agreements. B&I and the commission will enter into a road use agreement prior to construction activities commencing. The petition submitted by B&I Coal Ltd. is approved, and B&I Coal Ltd. is authorized to temporarily close or relocate such portions of the county road therein described and to conduct coal mining operations within 100 feet of the outside right-of-way line of the public road therein described. The chair of the county commission is authorized to sign all documents and take any actions needed to carry out this project.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, I guess for the public's information, they want to build a second overpass on the road going right south past my place. It'll be about 2.5 miles south of the existing one right now, right in that area, 3 miles.
Yeah, somewhere in that.
And so they want to have another overpass. And I guess, like you said, we've had many discussions over it, trying to get it down lower. We don't want, like the old one right now is like this. You don't see the traffic on the other side when you're approaching that overpass. And so we worked with B&I to get that cut down. They have done some, but Dave's concern is it could be more. And there are quite a few of us drive that road. And so safety is our biggest concern. And that will continue to be more engineering. We'll be monitoring Job, who is the county engineer. They'll be monitoring the whole job site. The detour or bypass, whatever we want to call it, will exist for 2 years at least, right?
18 months, yeah, somewhere in that time frame.
Yeah,
We're correct.
that's what I said, something like
Yeah.
that. And so traffic will be slowed down. The bypass will have a pretty good job, but I believe Jim Jackson told us it'll still be 45 mile an hour curve, right?
It's designed to that.
Is he there?
I'm here.
You want to speak or?
Hey, if you want me to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be designed at, it's been designed at 45 miles an hour, so same as the remaining county road. We could look at posting it slower to begin with, or having advanced warning, just because it's a new traffic movement. It's a new, the road's gonna veer off to the west down there, bypass the new structure, so that would be part of the plans, and that would be installed likely this fall, right?
Be the intent, we still need to go to bid to get a contractor, but yes, that would be the intent.
Anything else, Dave?
No, I guess we've kind of worked that all out. I've talked to Katie and Lane. I think we're gonna are we looking at 35 right now?
I think
To
that's
start?
what we're doing.
Just so people get used to it, so they don't have an accident,
Yep, I think that's what we talked about before.
okay? So that will be added to that, just so everybody knows. Yeah, Jim's been on top of it pretty regular, and I guess him and Kenny will keep working on it.
Any further discussion, comments? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I would like to call for a roll call vote on this.
Okay, Commissioner Hoosfone,
Aye.
Commissioner Berger,
Aye.
I'll vote in the affirmative, aye. Motion carried.
And one thing, this does go to,
PSC.
PSC for their approval next.
Could I get a signature from you today, Rob? You did? Okay. I'm gonna get one from you too. Thank you, guys.
You're good on county later?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Yep. Way at the end.
You're on deck, Mr. Rude.
Let's do, what time is the bids for 2?
2
I
o'clock.
just have it on there too. I don't know if we actually have like a set. It's not like the gravel and the.
Okay, you wanna do that first so we're done with them?
Sure.
I forgot a letter opener. This is the list of the equipment. I have sheets here so I can just keep track of bid amounts and bidders, so that way at the end of everything I can.
You want me to open it for you?
Jay, do you wanna just keep a tally so we know who's bidding what on the?
Yeah, she's got
You've
one.
got a bid sheet? Okay.
Yep.
Sterling dump truck. 6881. Flatbed panel trailer.
Who?
Oh, Ray Schmidt. Flatbed panel trailer, 2681 from Ray Schmidt.
That's the old trailer.
Yes,
What was the dollar amount?
2681.
The International dump truck. $37.50. Aaron Hintz.
Oh, man. Talk about superheroes.
$1,500 for the International Semi. Sorry.
It's okay.
1,500. Josh Ide. Sterling dump truck. 5750. Brad Dahl. The lowboy trailer, 36-foot lowboy trailer, $2,000. Brad Dahl. And the backhoe, $78.25 from Brad Dahl. International dump truck. 6239. Keith Lang.
Can you spell the last name? L-A-N-G?
Lange. Don't know what they said.
Oh. Jared Miller and Greg Meyer,
Yep.
20,000.
For. Maybe it's on the envelope. Backhoe. Sorry.
Yeah, repeat that. 20,000.
20,000 even.
Greg Meyer and Jared. Yep.
Should we be writing that on the sheet, or is it in the back, put it back in the envelope?
back in
You'll
the
know.
Going back in the envelope.
Yeah. It's Jaread, right? Is that what that says?
International dump truck. 8100. Michael Schmidt. JCB backhoe. 376. Todd Orgard.
Okay, did this one already
How much
come?
is it? How much is that last?
376.
Did this one already come open?
That one got opened when Linda was doing nail. We just, because it wasn't on there, what it was.
Okay. Normally the bids have to be sealed. We can't open them otherwise, but
The fuel trailer, 9150. Camden Moran.
Mm-hmm.
I say that right?
Yep.
MOR.
Moran, I believe.
I'm saving this one for last. It's tape shut there.
International dump truck, 4750. Melvin Schock from New England. Fuel trailer, 8100.
8100.
Backhoe,
Whose name?
Brennan Price,
Sorry.
so 8100.
Yep.
Backhoe, 8100. Brennan Price. Orange truck, it's the Sterling, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
10,100.
1,100.
The green dump truck,
Which one is that?
That is
the end dump, right?
yeah,
The dump.
The international dump
international
truck,
dump truck.
4250 from Brennan. And the panel hitch trailer, he's got 1,000. JCB backhoe, 4,100. Jeff Gross,
Is it gross or gets?
sorry,
Gets.
Gets from New Salem. International dump truck, 500. Jeffrey Getz. Semi, 500. Jeff Getz. 36-foot trailer, 500. And backhoe, 4,100. They're all Jeff Getz.
Okay. I lost Aaron Hintz's bid, so we're gonna have to throw that one out.
I think, did I read that?
It might have went in the second envelope.
I
You
think
did.
I thought I read it.
It might have went in the second envelope. I just gotta find it.
I thought he said triple it.
Oh, you did? Yeah, Aaron Hintz said I'll double it if I have to. I found it, Aaron. You're good.
Sterling truck, 6,100. Carlos Transportation. The backhoe, 5,600 from Harlow's Bus Service.
Well, this truck, this one you read, I didn't get it interrupted, did I?
Oh, don't look familiar.
Okay, we'll double check it.
Fuel trailer, 9287. Darren Holger.
This might be a double check here.
Okay. International dump truck. $751. Kevin Hazel. I think we got him all right.
Yeah.
Good. Start at the top of the list. The 2006 Sterling truck with a minimum bid of $5,000. Ray Schmidt, $68.81. Brad Dahl, $57.50. Brennan Price, $10,100. Harlow's, $6,100. So highest bid is Brennan Price. International dump truck, Aaron Hintz, $37.50. Keith Lang, $62.39. Michael Schmidt, $8,100. Melvin Shaw, $47.50. Brennan Price, $42.50. Jeff Getz, $500. Kevin Hazel, $751. High bid is Michael Schmidt. International semi, Josh Hyde, $1,500. Jeff Getz, $500. Top bid is Josh Hyde at $1,500. The fuel tank with a minimum bid of $6,000. Camden Moran, $91.50. Brennan Price, $8,100. Darren Holger, $92.87. High bid is Darren Holger, $92.87. Load Trail Trailer, Ray Schmidt, $26.81. Brad Dahl, $2,000. Brennan Price, $1,000. Jeff Getz, $500. High bid is Ray Schmidt at $26.81. JCB backhoe with a minimum bid of $4,000. Brad Dahl, $78.25. Greg Meyer and Jared Miller, $20,000. Todd Orgard, $10,376. Brennan Price, $8,100. Jeff Getz, $4,100. Harlow's at $5,600. And the high bid is Greg Meyer and Jared Miller at $20,000. And that's all I've got. The motor grader wing mower and the ridge mulcher did not have any bids. According to what you read off.
What do you want to do with them?
Table those two. Let me look at them.
Okay.
See if there's any salvage value. There's no parts or anything we can salvage, is there?
No, the wing mulch is, self-contained, it all goes together. And the mulch is just a pull type. Runs on tractor 3-point, or PTO, I mean.
We'll table those two until next month.
Okay, now do we need a minimum date to get that off? And then,
Do we need a motion to accept the high bid or however you guys?
I will make that motion to accept the high bids for all items.
I'll second.
We have to have a
Second.
date on for
Removal
Removal date.
and payments, yep.
Payment before removal.
Yep.
As we've done in the
Yeah,
past.
you gotta have a,
Somewhere lost my agenda. Okay, you moved.
Yes.
For a second?
Second.
Seconded by Dave. Discussion, what's 30 days?
we did 2 weeks last time.
2 weeks?
30 days gets dry. 2
And then
weeks
we
is
need
plenty.
No coming in at Saturday or Sunday afternoon
No.
because we have to pay overtime.
Payment
Eight-
is due
7 to 5, Monday through Thursday.
7, okay. Payment is due prior to pickup within 2 weeks.
And they won't get released without a bill of sale
Within
from the
2
courthouse. Yep.
Because I believe last year we had the same problem and they were coming in on a Saturday and a Sunday, so it's costing the county money for doing that.
Pickup must be between 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yep.
Monday through Friday.
Monday
Thursday.
through Friday.
Thursday.
Thursday. Monday through Thursday. with bill of sale in hand.
And I suppose we could add unless something's worked out with Kenny, but
Yeah, I mean, that's
We have-
fine. If they call and work something out, I got no problem working with them.
we should add that.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
I
Opposed? Motion carried. Road superintendent cell phone?
But
So, we talked last meeting, you wanna just give a,
I'm sorry,
His
the cell phone, cause I'm
For the
using
road
my own.
superintendent.
oh, what are you asking me for? I'm sorry.
It's on the agenda. I'm just
Yeah,
asking
we
why
brought
it's
it
on
up
there.
because we talked about last meeting about, they think that instead of using this, I should have a
County phone?
county
Yeah,
phone.
I mean, I
Yep.
stand by that
Yep,
recommendation.
yep. So, that's why it was just put on there.
Okay,
with a minimum of a 1 hour or a maximum of 1 hour usage.
in a snowstorm, yeah.
I can reach out to Verizon,
Can you get us quotes?
and I would imagine they would do the same thing that they did for the one that I have in the,
Sheriff's
well,
office.
it's now the weed control
Weed
officer
control,
one, but
Yeah.
she's got the other one.
Yeah.
$40 a month because they put us on their
Master
public plan
plan.
or whatever, so I'll reach out to them if that works. I can ask AT&T if you would like to compare prices to see if there's much of a difference as well, because I think the sheriff's department moved over to AT&T last year. So,
So should we approve it or wait for estimates?
Well, I'm sure it's gonna be the $40.
I'm
That's-
sure they're very similar.
That's the,
Plus the phone.
yeah.
And I think we can get, Verizon I know has like a
think we-
$0
we can
phone for
approve it.
2 years type thing, so.
I'll make that motion to approve cell phone for the county road superintendent.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Postal pounder?
Yep. So we talked about it, last meeting. The only one company that has them and it's 4,200 with the attachments and that's right through Acme.
That would go on that trailer you guys?
Yeah, it's
built?
gas powered, so it can go anywhere.
Self-contained
Yep,
unit?
so you can literally pick it up and carry it. So
Oh, okay.
that way, I mean, it works for anything.
You'd put the road signs and stuff in with
Yep,
that?
that's what it's for, yeah.
We have budget money for it.
Yeah, we do. And then, like I said, that comes right through Acme. They service, you know, they got the repair parts, everything. It's lifetime warranty. Mechanism for pounding in the signs itself. The gas motor isn't, of course, but the pounding head is lifetime warranty. So,
I think it's something we need. They've had to put quite a few in and we're gonna be putting some more in here in the near future because it's gonna get talked about.
yep. So, and
You need
we had the old hydraulic one that was part of that old Dodge pickup.
Oh.
You know, and that ran off the motor in the Dodge pickup. So,
Okay.
Easy has money in the budget. Do we need a motion?
I'll move.
It's
You
clean.
move? Okay, I'll second.
just,
How much was it?
it's like
40,
42, yeah.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The cutting edge bid. Yeah, we are sitting, aren't we? This is for the ones like we discussed on the blades. Is that right?
The-
Kenny?
These are those
Teeth.
ones that pin on.
Yep.
So, Morton County has went to these, Mercer County has went to these, quite a few other ones. We're due to get cutting edges anyway, which are, I think 36,000 is what we paid last year for our cutting edges. These edges now are averaging 2 to 5 years on one set.
What are they? Older ones, how long?
2 weeks.
Well, like when the roads were hard this fall?
Yeah,
They were-
we could burn through them in 2 days.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
I know Marvin said he had to change one after almost a day. He was
Yep.
down to quarter inch.
So these are made out.
These are solid carbon steel. And,
Wow.
or, not, excuse me, it's got, the half, each tooth is about that wide and they're just held on with a pin. So they're literally, you know, person can change them themselves too, but that's the whole thing behind it. They got like 6 different tips that you can put in there, so you can use, you know, swap it out between the picks or whatever. And these are continuous, just like our normal cutting edges that we have now, except they're, you know, 3-inch long. And like I said, they're averaging anywhere from 3 to 5 years out of a set.
Is there a warranty that comes with that? Any type of warranty?
No,
Or is it
it's just
just no insurance?
no. But this,
History says it'll last a while.
yeah. Well, and I've checked, like I said, I've checked with Mercer County and talked with their blade guys, because I know the one guy that's running them, and they've had excellent luck with them.
Yeah.
So the cost is what, $12,000 higher up front, but if we don't have to buy them every year at $36,000, it'll save in the long run.
This is for 4 sets.
Yes. This price is 4 sets with 2 extra sets of tips. So we potentially have enough for 6 years here.
I guess we'd be foolish not to go along with this one.
After
I would
what we
agree with
spent
that.
last year.
Yeah,
Because last year we spent $36,000 on half a truckload and we're out.
yeah, you had 1 or 2 sets left last time. we talked
Yep,
to you.
yep. So,
What are your wishes, guys?
I'm gonna make a motion that we order these. We gotta try something different. And these
I'll
will-
second it.
Second that. It's been moved and seconded to go with the new cutting edges. Any discussion?
Well, with them tips on there that he's talking, it's gonna make a big difference too.
yep, and we have an old set of the tips, and that's why we're just gonna do 4 sets, because with our spare machine, we have tips that we can put on that one that we can use up. So there's no sense in buying 5 sets and just having 1 set sit around.
Right.
We got stuff we can use up and
Sure.
for on that machine, so.
Okay. Any further? Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Road signs?
Yep, so as far as our safety signs, when we're out working on roads,
Oh,
we have a couple metal ones that we could put up, which is not, can't use them. Because they have to be, they fold away, break away, so if somebody runs over them, they don't get hurt. We have none. They're $4,350 for that set of signs. With,
How many?
With the stands and everything.
how many?
It's 4 on each end, so 8 total.
And 4,300.
Yep, that's with the signs up to code reflective, so they work at night, so they're versed day and night, and with the stands.
Know anything about that, Jim? Well, if we need it for safety,
Oh, we gotta have them to work on like the Hansel Road when we put,
Because you're gonna fix the shoulders and spread out.
yep,
It's a necessary evil, I
That
think.
is.
so.
I'll
And-
so move that we approve.
And that looks like worst case scenario, there is another company gonna give us a
A
quote.
quote,
They think they can beat it, so if they can, it could be lower.
you've got up till that much to spend then.
Yep,
Is there
so,
a second?
second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carried. Mr. Jackson, you are up, sir.
well, if we could jump in, so
yep,
I've been called by where Eugene Eminis' old house is. Ben, can you help me what street that is? Do you know? It'd be right on the west side of the Weber farm.
I can
Does
tell you
anybody
here in a
know?
second, I can tell you.
Anyway, there's 2 families right by the highway, and some pickups been driving by there pretty fast. So I talked to Kenny. There is no speed limit, so they can go 55. But the problem is both families have young kids, and so I'm recommending we put 35-mile-an-hour speed signs out there to try to slow them down, just for the safety of the kids. And we did that out by Hanover here last year, if I remember right.
Yes, it would be 31st Avenue.
Okay,
I'm not opposed to that.
and
Tell me again which road this is.
31st Avenue.
Eugene Eminent?
yeah, where Eugene used to
The
live.
road that goes south there.
Yep,
Right.
goes all the way to Cal
towards MJ's,
Simonson's.
yeah.
Okay.
And so I called the farmer that farms down there, who is from New Salem. they haven't been going there yet. So it's not them. So next, only option is, there's been talk of where Minnesota Power is building their substation, is that they're taking that section line and maybe coming across and it could be just anybody just tearing around, but because of the kids, we need to try to slow it down. And about the time the sheriff's department goes out there, they will never find anybody. That's usually how it happens.
Is that the form of a motion, Dave?
Well, if we need one, yes.
Yeah.
Is there a
I'll
second?
second that, yes.
Put one on the south end and one on the north end right off the highway.
Okay, just how far down?
Well, we'll do it right off the highway.
No, I mean on the coming
south
back end. How far from the south end?
We'll do it right off where it starts.
Off the Mid Dakota Road or back road or whatever, right?
Well,
Mile south,
it would be just
south of Simons.
north of Simons because it dead ends at Simons.
Okay.
So
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Would that be north of that section line? That's where the concern would be, maybe on the north side of that section line.
you can't get through that section line unless they go through that middle of that field.
Okay,
So it's got to be somebody using it that knows. What do you think?
Now I'm up.
Yes.
sorry.
Good. Just three things. The CIP. So I talked with Dave on Friday, and Tom started to put together a program to look at future projects for the county. I still have to meet with Kenny, Dave, and Jaden because we're gonna kind of go through financials. We typically do like 15 years of projects, so just be aware of that and whatever projects come to mind. I know Hensler Road is on there. B&I Road is on there for future improvements. What type of improvement is up for discussion, obviously, but those are the two kind of bigger projects sitting out there. And then we're going to put like countywide chip seals and stuff on there because you'll want to do that again prior to 15 years from now. So as a reminder, just because it's been a few months, last November we bid that countywide chip seal. We're starting to have pre-construction meetings with contractors. We haven't had one for that project yet, so we don't know schedule yet. Wouldn't shock me if it's October-ish, but
It's kind of a sound because I know they called for some lay down places for the.
yep.
Well, it would give you time to get them shoulders back in shape.
And that, as a reminder, that's Hensler Road, that's Cross Ranch,
Minn Kota.
Kota. It is not B&I, and the reason that wasn't on there is because we were hoping to do a more substantial project there, but didn't get that legislative flex funding for that. So, and then lastly, the 32nd Avenue. You guys kind of touched on this, but expect to see some more action out there. Our plans should be done by the end of the month here.
Which one's that? No, 32nd.
Going to Minnesota Power substation. Yep.
Substation.
Yep. There are some right-of-way questions that we will have to work out with you guys. Not here and now, but questions on securing that right-of-way and all that stuff. So, but I expect plans to be done by the end of April. Kenny will send them at least to you and anyone else who wants to see them for review. So. Again, we're working with Minnesota Power on that stuff with Kyle.
And then culvert,
Culvert.
The big one?
the big
Big
one.
one.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to go down there that day.
You seen the pictures and videos, I say, right?
It seems like a lining project to me, just first glance. I mean, you start digging that thing out, you're looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars. So
Do you know where he's talking?
No, I don't. Really.
Okay, so the Orgard Road, right by the Hiltons, Delmer Hagrets,
Oh, that.
that big
That's the
culvert,
road, that big
Oh, I
one.
know that.
it's coming apart. In fact, the landowners who contacted Kenny, or Marv,
Marv, yep.
and said, there's a problem under there, and
We've doctored that up many times over the years.
Yeah.
That was not
Now, this was the current pictures as of last week. So that's where it was fixed before. But the new pipe was sinking down, and right above the seam there's an indent in the ditch.
Yes. Center Machine gave that a total overhaul about 15 years ago,
Yeah,
probably.
when that ice comes
Yeah.
down. Yep.
Well, the other day Jim and I were gonna look at it, but he didn't wanna get his feet wet, so he backed out on me, so.
Yeah. I had my dress shoes on.
So you're estimating 100,000?
Well,
For a replacement, you're hundreds of thousands of
Hundreds
dollars.
of
that's a 10-foot pipe and it's 153 feet long.
And I mean, even if Kenny's crew wanted to take that on, but
Okay, the road's not being used, right?
No, the road's being used.
It is not.
It's not on the driving surface. So,
yeah, so part of it's unique now versus last time we worked on it, Lee, because it used to be on the federal aid system, on System Road, it no longer is. So you can't use those federal dollars to we talked years ago about a potential box culvert through there, but that would have been a really pricey project as well. So instead we we placed the end sections and buried them and tried to secure them that way. So lining's kind of the only option in my opinion. So, and we can get quotes for that, but
You need round figures on lining?
I'm not comfortable enough to say it in front of 60 people.
well, you're in luck because there's only 40.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, I
we'll
think I
get
would
quotes for you guys.
hope to pursue
We're doing
the
the
lining of
same.
it,
Yeah, we're doing a lining project in Mercer County right now. It's not on a 10-foot diameter pipe, but so we're working with people right now to get quotes, so we can do that pretty easily.
So we met the other day, we did suggest B&I would wanna help us out with that, so they're thinking about it.
What you thinking?
I'll still get the idea in their head.
I can't remember. Dave, did you send me those?
There's pictures?
If not, I can get
I
them
was
to
gonna say at some point if you just send
you.
it to me.
Yep.
I don't think I even have them, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send them to you. The last one's a video. So, but other than that, recycle. We found some as of right now from
For the answer.
from Knife River. We got to get down and I'm gonna stockpile it in the yard.
Oh, it's first come, first served again?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Well, how about that cut across road from the Hensler Road down to the Cross Ranch? That paved one.
where that hole is,
That's on the north-south piece,
Holes for the,
yeah, that's
towards the park.
it's a mile from the park there. We're gonna put hot mix in there this spring before it gets chip sealed.
Does it pay to still keep it asphalted?
It's gonna need a lot of work.
I brought up a suggestion with Kenny the other day because I drove it a couple times this last weekend. And that there's a 2-mile stretch in there that's dilapidated.
Yep.
My suggestion was that we come in with the front end loader and we turn that 2-mile stretch back into a gravel road. We take that asphalt and grind it.
Well, I mean, yeah,
then
you
we
definitely
have
want to grind it
we have
because
useful asphalt.
you don't want to give it
And
away.
use it on the
Not
Hensler Road under shoulders.
Kind of idea.
You wouldn't
Jim
have
would
it grinded
think of
this
that.
year though. By the time somebody came in and you got it off, it wouldn't be this year.
On the east end, or where is it?
On the,
All the way
the
from
2-mile north-south
Sandgate
stretch
to
from
Cross
the,
Ranch.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
right on 1804 there.
I mean, the rest of it's gravel anyway.
Yeah, it is, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll drive it on the way after this, but
And then Kenny can look at what it's gonna cost to
Chip, or to grind that.
grind it
haul
out.
off. You just stockpile it somewhere then. wouldn't you?
Yeah, stockpile it and then when it's all there, when we can get a crusher crusher available, then they'll come in and grind it.
And that'd be about that much less asphalt we gotta buy for the shoulders.
No.
No, we'd still have to buy it
The
this
shoulders
year
would be done
because
first.
Oh, yeah,
That's the
we
problem.
we gotta have that done before it's chip sealed.
It's a timing problem.
But we either gotta fix that hole or get rid of it. Cause that hole's gonna,
It's a hazard right
that
now.
hole's,
Yes, I know it
hit
is.
the other day.
and where that cattle pass is a little further up, that's gonna need
Oh,
work
in the
too.
low spot.
Right as you're coming out of that low spot. Anybody that drives a tractor will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, we can get,
We might hold, we'll deal with that. We might have to hold off on chipping that if we're not gonna keep it asphalt.
well, you're right, we don't wanna spend the money. But table that and see what it's gonna
Table
cost
that
first
one.
and,
You talking about that little north-south street?
yes.
2 mile stretch.
Yep.
I don't think that was on the chip seal.
I think it was just to that road
Yep.
Yeah,
So
because,
that's already figured in.
because we took in town of Hensler out of it too.
Yep.
Because of
We
the
did.
cost.
Yep.
Right.
and because we had talked about it actually before too,
That
so,
hole's been talked about,
Yep.
yeah.
so. I think we table it till we find out what it's gonna cost to get it off of there and go from there.
You guys would haul it off, or you gotta hire somebody to haul it off?
We'd have to use tie dumps if we hauled it up. I mean, if we,
Oh, that's right, it wouldn't be ground up, it wouldn't
If-
come out of the belly dump.
no, unless we paid them to grind it up on the spot, then we could haul it out of belly dump.
Who bought that gravel truck? They could haul it. I don't even know.
Well, I think Jaden's husband's in
I
maybe.
think there's connections.
Just a suggestion.
So, but yeah, then we'll leave that alone till we get some prices on that and go from there.
Okay.
Cause we'll see what it's cost versus them taking it off, grinding it that way versus grinding it in the yard.
You guys can handle taking that off?
Well, I mean, we can if we have to, but,
Yeah, we can get side done, so,
and we don't have the manpower if we're gonna keep waiting.
gotcha.
Yeah,
It's
depends
one or
if we
the
can
other.
get moisture to keep the roads in
One or the
shape.
other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can.
understood. Get estimates on what it's gonna take.
Okay.
You guys got any more?
No?
I got
Good.
one more. Mr. Hankey's here.
Yes.
What did we find on his half
On that
acre?
40 feet.
As far as we can find. and I
state
think
owns it?
district as well, yeah, the state owns it.
The state owns it.
The county can't, yeah.
That's what we're finding, Les. The state owns that, so we'll have to go through them.
Yep.
Yep. So that's what we were told, so.
Okay.
Thanks for checking.
But that would be, yeah, that would be get in contact with the,
Department of Transportation.
yeah, construction division there.
Well, did they say construction?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, other than that, yeah.
We're 7 minutes in, Kenny.
And
Since the
then,
last of 3.
oh, yes, temps.
Oh,
What are you talking about having to bring them back?
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, me and Alice have talked a little bit. We're gonna bring back 2 temps.
okay.
Cause we still have court, it's gonna take Marv's job when he retires, so we
For
still
the
have.
year, he's still.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we just have 2 part-time we'd bring back besides him. Cause normally they have 4, but we've been able to get by with just the 2.
Okay.
So we're gonna have the people that are already been hired as temps years ago, reapply and have them turned into Kenny by April 21st, and we'll review them on the 24th, and then we'll make a decision of which 2 temps will be hired.
Existing will have priority. Is
Yes.
that how you're doing it?
Yes,
Okay.
correct, absolutely.
Yep,
You said April 21st?
Yes, and Kenny does have applications down at the shop.
yes. I got them from Linda this morning, so I got them down there, so.
Any further questions?
That should be it for that.
That's it for me.
Thanks, you guys.
Perfect.
Good of the county.
Do you want to do that now?
Yes.
Lee? No, I'd like to do it at the end if we can.
Okay. I don't know what else. I had one more. What is it?
Voting district.
Voting district, Lee's redistricting, Lee.
Yeah, well, I think I just want to bring it up today to see what are the requirements to redistricting, and at the same time, the possibility of something on the ballot for 5 commissioners compared to 3, and just the procedure that the county has to go through to, is it a special election, is it whatever it takes, can we get it on the next ballot? We need I'd like to discuss that probably when we get the right information, or maybe Patrick could tell us now.
I did some research on it based at the request of a citizen. I don't have it sitting here with me. If you want me to go back to my computer, I can sure print it out, or
I
I could.
don't think it's any big thing that we need to do now, but probably for next meeting, if we could have maybe
I'll
some
have an answer for you
information
on that, sure.
to proceed with that if we feel that we want to. So, okay, we'll table it till next meeting, we'll get some info on it.
Very good.
It's 2:10. Do we want to jump to planning and zoning, or do we want to take a small recess?
Does anybody care?
Technically,
We're gonna jump ahead
we're
50 minutes.
50 minutes ahead of schedule.
The time is just a guide. I just put it on there because I never know how long things are going to take.
Okay.
Let's go
How do
to
we
it
want to
then.
handle that? Yeah, let's do that. Data center ordinances, updates. Who wants to lead that?
Okay, well, I'm gonna start off with, I'm gonna be working with, Lauren over here. Patty and Linda have all spent countless hours. We've had an open records request done by Liz Dagley on 13 county employees. So looking at the ordinance, which I have the Century Code I have in front of me, we can charge 25 cents a copy, plus the printer and ink usage. And we can also ask $25 an hour for each employee to find out the information from September 1st to April 9th. Liz has to be notified of the cost, and she has to pay it before we will release any information. And so I make a motion to adopt this language. And that would be all the hours that they put into it, plus the ink and 25 cents a copy.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Dave, do you have language that I can put into the
The minutes.
motion for the minutes?
Yeah, you can have this when I'm done.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, another one I have is, at the February meeting, we talked about planning and zoning will no longer write policy or ordinances. In most counties, it's done by legal. So we had talked about it, but we never made a motion, so I'll make a motion that planning and zoning will no longer write policy or ordinances, and that legal will.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, I've got one question. What are we gonna do with planning and zoning?
Well, they still have to approve building permits and anything that they normally should be doing. I've tried to find out when planning and zoning started writing ordinances, and we don't have an idea.
I don't.
But normally legal would be doing them. The 3 counties I've called, that's what they do. And in fact, if you go to McLean County, planning and zoning and the county commissioners all meet at the same day, same meeting.
Is this a language change to our bylaws and our ordinances for this? I'm just asking if we have to change the language that's already in our ordinances and bylaws as to how the process works.
You can't just say it's gonna be different.
So I get this right.
I have no idea. I guess we could look into it.
Just check with the counties that are doing it, check, see what they had to go through it to.
I mean, so that way we have rules to follow moving forward.
Which counties, which 3 counties are, have gotten rid of their planning and zoning? And
They haven't gotten rid of them. Don't read into what I'm saying, please.
can you clarify, why planning and zoning doesn't work on the ordinances?
Okay,
I'm
why
not
would they? It's,
understanding.
ordinances are legal opinions, right?
Are you opening up for some public response, Chairman?
Sure, limited.
I think,
Yeah, you better set some timelines.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Pull up my timer, please.
a fairly straightforward reading of Century Code zoning in section Century Code 11-33. If a county wants to avail itself of zoning regulatory authority, it has to have a planning and zoning commission. The Planning and Zoning Commission is tasked with investigating needs, consulting with residents, and prescribing appropriate regulatory steps. That sounds a little bit like putting together ordinances, to my read of it. If that's something that you want to just appropriate away from them,
it seems like you're trying to flout the intention of Century Code. And I would be questioning why that would be necessary. They can certainly consult with, and that's part of their task as well, any state, county, or city official must provide technical assistance and cooperate upon request by the planning commission. That's Century Code. So if what you're trying to do is step outside of the purview of Century Code, we as residents would appreciate knowing what's the rationale.
Mr. Billigan.
In the past, when a lot of these were written up, we worked with, the Planning and Zoning Board gathered public information, gathered, public input, and then, what that different stuff was, put together, but actually drawing up, any of the ordinances, that was turned over, to a state's attorney, and then he's the one that, wrote that. Now, we did put together with other counties that they already had, setbacks, they already had ordinances, so we would, given a good example would be livestock confinement, and also wind tower stuff. Back when that was all put together, we worked with other counties, we used some of that same wording, but we didn't write that, as a planning and zoning board. We took the information that was gathered, and then that was given over, to state's attorney and legal, to write those, because we didn't have the knowledge, we weren't lawyers to write this stuff up. But we gathered the information for the commissioners, to do that, and then with an ordinance, under the direction then, of the commissioners, then, if that was an ordinance, we didn't write that ordinance, it was, written by given the information that we gathered, we did the legwork for the county, for the commissioners. But we didn't write it. And I guess I never looked at it as we were supposed to write it. I mean, that was beyond what the scope of our knowledge was. It was turned over, to, back then, John Mahoney worked with us a lot, way early on, because he was our, the state attorney. And, he's the one that put that wording together. And then planning and zoning then looked at that wording, if that's kind of what, what was, the input that we got. And then from there, it went to the commissioners. We made a recommendation into the commissioners, but then the commissioners, like now, they decided on that. Okay. That's how we did in the past.
Do you want to say how long you were on the planning and zoning, and how many years you were chairman of Oliver County's planning and zoning?
I don't want to lie, but, it was probably between 15 and 20 years, that we were on there. I came on a couple of years after Murray Hintz was chairman, and then when Murray got killed, then I was chairman then, and I can't remember, it was for quite a few years, but we were involved. Murray and I were directly involved with the livestock one, and then we were also involved in quite a bit of the wind stuff. And then also back then, the big thing back then was the man camp, and we knew nothing about the man camp. But that's where we went to some of the western counties, to actually get their ordinances, what they had. And then, we could probably use some of that, those ordinances, or in the case of livestock, we went to the Morton County, because we're so close in there, same thing with the wind. So we wanted to be able to reciprocate with Morton County, with livestock and also with wind, because so much of that was crossing over to the counties, so that these companies coming in weren't dealing with different regulations in our county versus Morton County, just to simplify everything. And, I guess we thought it worked out quite well.
So does that answer your question? Legal did it back then too.
But if you bypass the information part of the gathering of information, your legal isn't hearing what the community or the county wants.
Well, you have to have a public hearing afterwards, though, right?
Afterwards.
Right, but they have their role in gathering information to help get it out so that we don't end up in this same scenario where it's just a little bit of copying and pasting here, but really not reflecting what's been sent to them or what's being asked of them. You have to have people's input.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, Zoe. First off, you guys are supposed to say your name, Oliver County President first, sorry. My mistake too.
Yeah.
Dan Gilligan.
Earl Bucker, Oliver County. It feels like right in the midst of needing to do the work of crafting ordinances to vary the procedure that's fairly clear, feels counterproductive, or at least one ought to then consider, okay, we need to extend the moratorium because we've actually, where there's process and procedure questions here in terms of how things are being handled.
Okay, I'll rescind my motion. You guys figure it out.
So I would make the case that the procedure for planning and zoning is very much intended for public engagement. Our comprehensive plan calls for maximizing public engagement in large decisions. So to kind of circumvent planning and zoning and speak, to shrink their role to just approve permits and not be involved in this preparation feels to me like it's stifling the voices of Oliver County.
Dan?
I guess all our planning and zoning meetings are open meetings, so you have the opportunity to come there, and speak that. And we had an agenda all the time, and the agenda by law has to be published, and that's the way we always did it. So I think we were always very open for whatever. And then when it comes to time for when we want to make a recommendation to the commissioners, that is, we had to, by law, have to have hearings for that. So I think we were always doing our job.
I seen a hand way in the back. Brad?
Yes, Bradley Dahl. I feel that it's already been put out to the public for public input. What Dave was suggesting is that legal writes the ordinance, not that planning and zoning writes it. Planning and zoning is involved in gathering the data, which they have. And what Dave, I think, was suggesting was that planning and zoning doesn't do the legal legwork of putting it all together and writing it. Planning and zoning should be involved in getting public opinion, putting it together, putting it to the commissioners as a recommendation. The commissioners pass it on to legal. Legal actually writes the documents because planning and zoning do not have the legal background to word everything properly and to put it into an ordinance that everybody's going to agree on. So it should go to planning and zoning first, from planning and zoning go to the commissioners, from the commissioners to legal, and then be written.
But that isn't what Dave said.
Dave was suggesting that
Did
legal
you?
writes
I mean,
it,
I don't know. That legal writes it,
not
not
planning
going
and
through the
zoning.
planning and zoning.
I didn't say nothing about planning and zoning.
Greg?
I had a long discussion with Ladd Erickson. He's a state's attorney up in McLean County and for Sheridan County, I believe also. And he explained their procedure up there. It's similar, it's what Dave said, that the planning and zoning and the county commissioners all meet together with the state's attorney. And he actually said when they do meet, the state's attorney actually runs this meeting. They come up with their proposals for their ordinance. The state's attorney writes the ordinance because it has to be done by an attorney. Not anybody can write an ordinance to be legal. And if I am correct, then when the ordinance is written, it has to be approved by the county commission. Am I correct in that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't see any reason that the county commission and the planning and zoning and our state's attorney can't get together and do these as a combined group and have it hammered out that way. And I think that would take away a lot of the, being, if I use the right term here, blindsided, the county commission being blindsided by a ordinance that is written by the planning and zoning that they are not aware of or not informed about without any legal opinion. It needs to have the state's attorney involved.
If I could, Lori, one of the reasons I come to this was They spent 17 meetings on the taxpayers' dollar. All this committee, the planning and zoning, 17 meetings, and nothing got accomplished. That's a waste of taxpayers' money. Where if the state's attorney writes policy ordinance, and then it goes to the public, like they both just said, why would you want to keep wasting tax money? Because 17 meetings is a lot of time wasted. Some of the meetings lasted close to 4 hours or more, correct? And that was on Patty and Jaden's time because they don't get paid overtime.
That was, I think, during the CO2.
Yep, CO2 pipeline. And so that's why I'm coming up with this. If you guys can justify wasting taxpayers' dollars, good for you. I can't. Well,
No, go ahead.
no, Lori asked first, please.
Okay, my name is Lori Hammer. I'm an Oliver County resident. My concern, I can't remember your name, sir.
Bradley Go.
No, this gentleman.
Greg Meyer. I'm
Greg
sorry.
Meyer.
I'm Oliver County resident for all my life.
Yeah, so Greg suggested or said that the commissioners and the planning and zoning members come together to work on the ordinance. Did that happen? And we were told at the last 6 or 7 hour meeting that Patrick Waters would be writing the ordinance along with other attorneys and with the input of the citizens. And what I'm saying is we're not being heard because you came up with the draft without considering our input.
I was directed to do so by the commissioners.
Okay, but that's not what we were told at the meeting.
I was directed to do that by the commissioners.
And
I'm the
so-
state's attorney and I take my direction from the commissioners.
Okay, so why did that change, Dave, if you can answer that for me? Because we were submitting ours, emails, you responded to mine twice, I appreciated that. So what changed? Why all of a sudden then was there this draft written without?
Okay, so one thing, I've been doing my homework, right? By making other calls. My 18,000 has been done since April 1st with just phone calls. So how do you learn stuff? You make phone calls, you make connections, and you do it. I've been talking to legislators, my state legislators, and others, and attorneys, to try to find out the right way to do it. So what is wrong with what we're doing? Tell me what we're doing wrong.
I'm just suggesting that what we were told, and the instruction that we were given, is not being respected.
Okay, so what do you want?
I wish that you could maintain civility, and it feels like you're trying to intimidate us, and that feels really crappy.
You want to read some of my texts and phone calls I've gotten? You want to talk about intimidation, animosity?
We feel it as well. I'm not.
You're not hearing it from me, though.
Dave, can I just say something? I think what Lori's trying to say is, Jay Brown, Oliver County. First of all, I think what we're trying to get here is transparency, right? If this was going to change, you guys are going to change the way the ordinances are written. If Patrick was going to get one out and say commissioners directed Patrick to do that, I think we're just wanting transparency, communication amongst everybody. Something should have been sent out saying, guys, this is what's going to happen. We're going to send a draft out. We're not trying to go against what you guys said at the meeting as far as input. Send your emails. I think it's transparency. If things are going to change like that, you need to let the public know.
What have I been trying to tell you, Shay?
Right, I get
There's
that.
going to be a public hearing. That's where you guys...
I understand that, but changing, first of all, it was, you guys write, planning and zoning rights to ordinances. They didn't do it. They dropped the ball. Okay? Why don't you guys have more public input? We all showed up. Here we are. Correct? So, why would you not try to give the public the chance to show up to these meetings like you guys asked, right? And then you said get a public group together, a citizen group to write an ordinance. Then we did that. And it got jerked. It got taken away. Then we got told, we're going to have input, we're going to send emails till April 8th. Everybody can have their input, and then the ordinance will be written. That got jerked. So we're just looking for transparency on if stuff's going to change. Tell us before it changes.
How did it
so
get
that-
jerked?
it got jerked by, all of a sudden, Patrick had the draft without our input.
I was directed by the county commissioners.
He's got all your input plus a public hearing. Somebody else had their hand, Aaron did.
Oh, what's the definition of a draft? Aaron Hintz. What's the definition of a draft?
It's a rough draft.
It's a start.
It's a start. That's all I got.
You gotta have it.
And why were we
Until,
told otherwise that we were gonna be
okay,
public input?
so, Jane, explain what Aaron Bursch sent to the county auditors from the state, from the NDACO. That was a draft, a template of a draft for how to start a data center
Or a
ordinance.
data center, yeah, so last year when they began working on it, they said that they were working on a draft or a template or a guide. Nobody really knew what it was that they were working on, it was just a template draft guide, is basically how it was presented.
And that was from the state.
There was nothing said that there was gonna be a reading off of this ordinance.
Nope.
I mean, it was nothing, there was a discussion, it was written, it was meant for the commissioner's eyes only, and for however reason, it got out to the public, and whatever, but it's a draft. There's time for comment yet, there's time to change it, there's time to add stuff to it.
There isn't public confidence that that will be taken seriously if the public is told public comment will be received until the 8th of April, and then a draft will be composed.
How do you know that didn't change from today?
How do I know what?
His rough draft that he started on.
His rough draft may change, but the public...
Exactly, so he probably listened to the last 3 or 4 days of it. And maybe he has it on his computer and doesn't print it out yet. He printed out the rough draft he has today. There's still comments coming. There's still time to change this.
Vern,
I'm talking in terms of public...
I agree, there's still time, Aaron, to change this, but my email was responded to with, bring it here. I do not want your email.
That's not how I read it, but so.
That's how my email was
what
sent
I'm
back
speaking
to me.
to...
I read it, I got.
You got
Okay,
mine?
okay, so,
I didn't get yours, I got the same response you did.
That may be, we
I got
could
a different
compare.
one than he did.
I got both of them too.
okay, we gotta get this in order.
So I'm speaking to public perception. So if the public's told your comments are received till the 8th and then a draft is
But he
proposed-
didn't say he didn't read them.
Just a minute. So then, if they're told public comments, a period of public comment is open till the 8th, and then a draft will be composed, and then we learn that well before that time, a draft is composed. There's still public comment between then and the 8th. Yes, a draft can be revised, but what it conveys to the public is there's a pre-arranged agenda here. That may not be true, and I certainly hope it's not.
It's just your assumption.
There is no pre.
I'm sorry, stop just a second. I'm sorry, what did you say, sir?
So I'm saying, not that there necessarily is, and I certainly hope there isn't, but what it conveys to the public is, there's something moving here already, your comments are not considered. That's what the perception to the public is.
Well, I certainly haven't said that, and I certainly haven't implied that.
Well,
And I certainly, I'm not arguing with you, I'm being very transparent.
But do you understand, from the public's vantage point, if they're told, send your comments until the 8th, and then the draft will be composed, and then they learn a draft is already submitted to the commissioners, does that convey to the public that their concerns are being considered?
All I can answer was that the people that give me directions and informed me that that is what I was to do.
And so all I'm
not a
saying,
decision maker, so.
and all I'm trying to encourage is not one way or the other in regards to any policy related to any industry, whether data centers or battery farms or solar or anything, as much as procedurally.
Sure.
We need to have the public
So
involved.
hold on, so just in order to be fair.
Send that to Gene, please.
Oh, just in order to be fair, if you're gonna make statements like you think there might be an agenda being followed or even bring it up, like that's a really charged statement to say, and it implies dishonorable conduct, it implies things that would be violations of open meetings, things like that. And
All
so,
I'm calling out is,
no, sir, I'm responding, okay? If you believe that there has been misconduct, you should be careful about alluding to that being a possibility. That's all I'm saying.
Jody.
Jody Hens, Oliver County resident. When you're saying the public comment, I'm really confused that we didn't have an ordinance from our planning and zoning, but yet an hour after our last commission meeting, we had a planning zoning, Matt Wilkins posted a 47-page ordinance of this whole thing, yet we said we needed a 3-year moratorium when our planning and zoning was sitting on that the entire time. So the whole thing of saying like this is confusing. I really am struggling with a comment like that when there's a 47-page all of a sudden was already out there, but yet our planning and zoning didn't do anything, so I'm sorry. I really struggle from my perspective that existed.
Kristen, I think you had your hand up.
Oliver County, I know it did go out. We still sent our letters only on April 8th. Thank you for responding. I didn't feel like we weren't being listened to, but we're also not telling people what to do. We appreciate your work, and there's more public. I feel like some public feels like they're not being heard.
My office responded to every single one that came in. We responded to it.
That's what you said, yeah.
Okay.
No, I said I got a response, thank you.
Okay, you were looking at them,
I
sorry.
got Rob's, I got Lauren's later.
Okay, you were just looking at someone else, so I just wanted to be clear that my
You didn't
office
respond, Lauren
responded.
did. So, yeah,
My
yeah.
office responded to every single one that we received.
Yeah. No, we appreciate your work.
Yes.
Ambassador Hanover, I just have a question. In North Dakota Century Code 113307, it says, after investigation is herein provided, the County Planning Commission shall prepare a proposed resolution to be submitted to the Board of County Commissioners, establishing districts and prescribing regulations therefore, as herein provided, and shall be filed in the office of County Auditor. So what does that mean?
It doesn't mean that anything to do with them drafting ordinances. It's talking about an entirely different concept altogether.
It's under the planning and zoning part of it. County Planning Commission to prepare plan.
Call the Attorney General and get an opinion?
That's why I just
Yeah,
asked.
It's the comprehensive plan.
You're
That
talking
you're
about
required to
some,
have before you have planning
Yeah,
and zoning regulations. That's
yeah,
all.
it's
a comprehensive plan.
it's not that it gives them authority to draft ordinances, but I don't understand why you're bringing that up, because it
I just had a question.
Okay.
Because the comprehensive plan also says that
Okay, but we're not discussing that today. That's already still in the works, I believe, right?
she brought it
It's
up.
almost,
Actually, you did. That's what that statute's about, it's a comprehensive plan. Which is required before you can have
Okay,
planning and zoning.
Dave, did you have your hand up earlier?
Yes, David Parswood. What I would like to stress to the group here is Lane Dahl and I had the meeting on the BNI overpass this morning. We disagreed. We shook hands. We're here today, and like I explained to him and he agreed to me, that him and I disagreed. But now I came to the commissioners and you guys approved the BNI plan. So that I have to accept. And, well, I do have one more avenue, but I can go to the Public Service Commission. But today, I respect your guys' decision that you accepted BNI's plan, and I have to move on. And, this...
Thanks, Dave.
This fighting back and forth isn't gonna help anything.
It's not productive.
Thank you.
Well, I guess on that end, Dave was a commissioner for years, Dan was on
Yes.
planning and zoning for years, represented the county. A lot of you we've never seen in the community, other than maybe once a year. And now, here we are. You guys want to vindicate us? The job isn't easy. It's tough decisions. This guy's done it for 20 years. 8 on city council, businessman for 15 years. And now you want to say we're not listening to you. Pretty harsh words. Pretty harsh.
And then
So-
I would note too that we had a public meeting on this two times,
Two for sure.
both of which lasted
3 times with the commission.
3 times with commission. The 2 of those meetings lasted 4 to 5 hours. I don't know. I mean, like, I understand how you guys feel and everything, but like, I feel like people have had an opportunity to voice what their concerns are. In fact, I've heard those concerns being voiced on multiple occasions where the same things have been said. And so, when you say that your voices aren't being heard, do you mean that you don't agree with what's being produced?
No.
And okay, then what do you mean when you say your voices aren't being heard? Because if the commissioners have dedicated almost 9 hours on this particular topic. And I understand if people are upset about how this draft ordinance came out. Wasn't my decision. But how are your voices not being heard when you've been given, and not you, the community as a whole, we've all been given the opportunity to come and speak about this many times over. Like, everybody knows what people feel. And now I have 60-some emails, 60-some, right?
I think it's like 62 or
62 or 63 emails, all of which Lauren responded that we received. How are your voices not being heard? Because I just don't see it that way.
Could I just ask Jonathan Dagley? Just clarification. The motion Dave attempted earlier, is that specifically for this topic? Or is it for all topics going forward? Because I think that could be where the disconnect is.
All topics.
All topics. Because I
So I think you understand. Like I said, there's 17 meetings. It took them forever to get it done. How do we do it without legal writing it? Because the road use agreement, I worked with the state's attorney in McLean County, worked with Patrick. Patrick had to write it legally after what I wrote up to protect you guys as citizens with the wind, any industry. I'm not going to specify one.
Yeah, and the work that Dave and I did on that, there are real teeth into people that come in here and violate what people are happening to the roads. I'm not able to discuss with you a couple of things because I can't, but I can tell you that those people that have come into our community and have violated the road use agreement have been sanctioned for that, and they have been sanctioned significantly.
So that's why I couldn't write the road use agreement.
Right, and I personally have no problem. I think attorneys writing the final draft, in my personal opinion, is the right way to go.
Appreciate that.
We are just, as a people, for me, on this topic, I think we're there. I think people are just struggling with the part that they think they may not be able to have input. And so going forward on maybe other topics. And so that's just what I'm understanding. I don't understand a lot of the, legal stuff myself. But I think that's a good thing. I think we're struggling with the taking it away from the planning and zoning as taking away some separation of powers and needing kind of a little more of a wider base to take that information and funnel it into something. So that's just my thoughts.
Okay, but planning and zoning still has to go through it. And that they're the ones that have the public hearing.
Okay.
So we're not taking away from planning and zoning.
Yeah.
They have that, they still got to dissect it or whatever you want to call it.
Brad, you were next and then over here.
Jody's right, there was a 40-page draft, it just popped up in kind of nowhere. So when was that started?
You'll have to ask the.
I don't know, Brad.
So, under the planning and zoning assumption was that we would write the ordinance. That's what we assumed. And then we would give it to the state's attorney to look it over and see the legalities out of it. So yes, there was a 47-page draft that was put. It wasn't ours, but I believe Matt Wilkins put it together for us as a starting point. So it wasn't like the draft that Patrick did. It wasn't concrete, it was just an idea. It was a draft that we can put all the comments in. I've been here for CO2 and we've made changes with it and how we do things. Now we're at data centers and I understand everybody's concern with Patrick doing with what the commissioners wanted him to do. But again, he said it is a draft. I personally think that planning and zoning should still collect the data, which I believe Dave, that is the idea. We will collect the data, we will get it all together, and then send it to the state's attorney and say, okay, now you write it with this information.
Yeah, and
this is the first time that we did the state's attorney, so there's gonna be mistakes. We made a mistake by not letting everybody know that a draft was gonna be done. But now that we've made that mistake, we will learn from it, and we will, any ordinance going forward, we will make sure that mistake, we are as transparent as we can.
I appreciate you saying that very much, because that is what felt like the plan changed in midstream, so I appreciate you explaining that.
Yeah, it didn't change. It was, like I said, this was the first thing that we did, and they asked him for a draft. I understand it because I would like a draft, so then you put in your comments or put in what people want, but it wasn't proposed that way initially, and we apologize for that. So going forward, we will be more transparent.
Dave, I don't mean to attack you. This is very helpful in terms of the question of whatever your motion is in terms of turning it to the state's attorney. The procedural steps are critical. So if it felt like this was state's attorney writes it, then planning and zoning has to try and add in what they can, but it's already set. That's different than what it sounded like you even said in terms of road use. You brought concerns, Patrick interacted with them, and then you were able to compose something that was successful. So that's the part that felt like it was missing, was planning and zoning needs to be critically involved in gathering what are the constituents' concerns. And that was what, maybe erroneously, was feeling like was being stepped over, if that helps clarify what
Brad,
we were
and
feeling.
then over here, and then you, Kristen. Brad, you're up.
I kind of forgot my.
We'll come back.
So that 40-page draft, when was that started, or?
You gotta
We
talk to
started the data center stuff. That 40-page draft came in, I think, after the planning and zoning meeting, and it was never presented to the. No, it was never presented. I mean, we
There was a
started.
draft that started a year ago. Have him start on it, or?
Yeah,
He did it on his own.
Yeah, he was doing
Was
it
he-
to help us have a
But was
starting
he
point.
told to look in on this, or look?
Okay, so
That's just what I'm
I think I
trying
can
to-
answer that. Everybody, we have to have a starting point.
Right, I'm just.
And that's why,
did somebody-
we asked Patrick to do a starting point, and that's what Matt did. You gotta have a starting point.
Right, that's what I'm asking, did
Yep.
Matt get
Well, I think he did it on his
question
own.
from
I
one of
think-
you guys, or
He
somebody
was
just say,
reading
hey?
other county ordinance, or counties.
Okay, that's what, so then, now, there's actually 2 drafts then.
No, there's only
Oh.
one draft that will be looked at with the planning and zoning and the commissioners. That was done by,
They'll pull information off the other one if they
yeah, I
deem
mean,
it
and we'll pull
necessary.
information off
right.
the other one.
Okay.
Because there's also the draft, that we can look at with the other, that they did a template for us too. So,
You're up, ma'am.
Jadra Dagley. Patty said a whole bunch of what I was already
Okay.
thinking. And just from my perception, what Patrick did and you guys having him write a draft like that wasn't a problem at all. I think it was unexpected in the timeline, and that was it. But for me, I'm not upset about it, but I can see how people are worked up. I don't think we're in an emergency state. We are still communicating. There's a lot of talking and collaborating that needs to go on. So I just,
Did you wanna include rumors?
yeah.
Well, Jonathan Dagley. And just clarification on, maybe be a little layman's terms on what you're presenting, because I think we want the planning and zoning to still facilitate whatever's happening. And what you stated felt like, no, we're cutting them completely out, it's gonna go directly to the commissioners, to the attorneys, without.
Do you want me
that
to
was
read my motion again?
I didn't. I just from what you stated, that was my
I
understanding.
said they'll no longer write policy or ordinances, legal will.
Yeah.
Planning and zoning still has to address them.
Right. And so that's where it goes to assumption. Can,
Your
on
assumption,
our
right?
part,
can misdirect us, and I think that's where some of the disagreement.
Mr. Chairman, we're over 30 minutes. Patty, would you like to read something for me?
To the Oliver County Board of Commissioners and the residents of Oliver County. I ran for this office with a clear vision to bring accountability, transparency, and a voice to the residents of this county. Over the last 16 months, I have dedicated myself to that mission, addressing concerns regarding the misappropriation of funds and spending countless hours on the phone with constituents, helping them navigate challenges and find solutions. My commitment to this county did not start 16 months ago. For over 50 years, I have served the city of Center and Oliver County in various capacities. I have always believed in the importance of showing up for one's neighbors and have been willing to take the criticism that comes with leadership, provided it was rooted in the common goal of making our community better. However, we have reached a point where humanity and civil discourse have been replaced by malice. Recently, I have been subjected to personal attacks, profanity, and baseless accusations regarding a potential project that is still in the earliest stages of discussion. I have not said I am for this project, nor have I said I am against it. I have simply been willing to listen and ask the necessary questions, an essential part of a commissioner's role. In return, my honesty and integrity, the very values I have spent a lifetime building, have been dragged through the mud simply for being willing to listen and ask the necessary questions. Service requires sacrifice, and for 50 years my family shared me with this community. They supported me through every late night call and long meeting because they knew I was doing it to help. However, there is no longer a path to help a community that chooses personal attacks over productive conversation. My priority has always been to lead with honesty, but when accusations replace curiosity and dialogue, it becomes impossible to lead effectively or in good faith. After 50 years of service, I have reached the point where the cost of this position far outweighs the work. To do the work I was elected to do. I feel there is still vital work to be done in Oliver County, but I can no longer be the one to do it. I wish to thank the many residents who have supported me and acted with kindness. However, I want to offer a final reflection for this community I love. When good people are driven out of public service by hostility and slander, the entire community loses. Quiet support and a private text is appreciated, but it is not enough to sustain a leader or a town. For Oliver County to thrive, those who value integrity must find the courage to speak up, not just when they are against something, but when they are for the people doing the work. It is with a heavy heart that I leave this term unfinished, but for the sake of my health and my family, I must choose to step away. With that said, I am submitting my formal resignation as Oliver County Commissioner, effective immediately. Sincerely, Dave Berger.
Dave, 1 second. For what you guys put this guy through, it's ridiculous.
I have no vote.
You guys
I have no
have
vote
been
to
to 3
put that
meetings,
guy.
and they've sat and listened to every one of you. You guys have sit in meetings. You guys have called me at the office. I don't have a say in this.
First off, can we quit with the you guys? It was not all of us.
I get that, but
I
what this
understand
is getting
being
pushed.
with some people.
Please don't interrupt them.
A lot of us have been.
Please don't interrupt them.
But this is our sheriff's deputies. Everybody in this county has dealt with this. The auditor, planning and zoning. This has gotten way out of hand.
It's been everyone. It's been every elected official. I've had people say things about me that aren't true.
Thanks, Kitty.
I've had people
Thanks, Dave.
make public comments about me that aren't true. It sucks. You know, I'm a taxpayer in this county too. It sucks. But that's part of being in public service. It comes with the territory. There is truly a lack of civility.
Like I mentioned before, we made a mistake. And we'll do our best to do better.
for you guys. So.
Yes.
I just want to say, never did I think Patrick wasn't going to start writing that ordinance as soon as the commissioners tasked him to do so. We have had public comment and he was taking everything in. If I was in his shoes, I would have started immediately because it's a very daunting task. 5 commissioners, when somebody posted that, what a great idea, where were we when we voted last year? How many of us have went to Ellendale on the tour to actually see what is supposed to come in? Has our county provided the numbers to everybody on wind towers, how profitable it is? I know residents have asked that. Have we heard the exact data, everybody from the data center? I'm just saying, some of us did listen to all the meetings over the last year or before that. And I appreciate everything that everyone has completed, but some of us are just entering this conversation now. And I'm gonna ask, I'm really confused because you have been county members this entire time.
And I'll say this too, I've been around for 2.5 years. I've seen now 2 really politically charged issues come through, and I appreciate you guys hearing me out, thank you. I've seen this data center issue, and I've seen the carbon recapture issue, and I've just seen a lot of hostility, and the amount of work that I've put in to attempt to guide the commissioners, to provide them with good legal advice with this ordinance, it goes well beyond this part-time position. That's what my position is a part-time position. We are all honestly trying to do the very best we can. I know I've put in way more hours than what this part-time position is because I am serious about this. I wanted this position, and I've deeply enjoyed having this opportunity to assist this community. It's great, but it's really, really difficult when there's so many people who are saying so many things, some of which isn't true. We're all doing the best we can. I've been an attorney for almost 20 years now. My background is in criminal defense. It's in, as a prosecutor as well before coming here. I've handled thousands upon thousands of court hearings, multiple trials. But this is also new for me too, right? There's a civil side to being a state's attorney. And so there's a learning curve. I just don't see some grand conspiracy behind all of this that is driving decent people to do things that are not decent. I don't see it. And I'm really sorry that there's so much hostility surrounding this data center. Just a moment. I really do want to hear what you have to say. I just want to speak my piece because if I don't, I'll be frustrated. Like, I listened very, very carefully to everything that was said at all the other meetings. I listened very, very carefully to the concerns that people have had. I just don't see how people's voices haven't been heard. What I do see is that there may very well be disagreements with what is ultimately decided upon. And that's great. That's what democracy is all about. But I just don't see. I guess what I'm trying to say is I just don't see how there can be a belief that is reflected in comments that people are making online and things that are being sent to people, that those of us that are put in this position are somehow acting against the best interests of this county. I know I sure as hell am not. I mean, I really appreciate this county. I really appreciate the position that I've been put into. And I've done my very, very best, both in court and out of court, to live up to what my obligations are. And I've done some things that people don't agree with, and I understand that, but that's because I feel like that's what part of my job as a state's attorney is. And I fully speak for Rob and I speak for Lee that I think they're doing what they think is in the best interests. But this idea that we're up here trying to do something that's not for the benefit of the county, guys, I just don't see that. What I see is that there are disagreements with some people want something, some people want another. And that's what the democratic process is for, but it doesn't need to be to where we're tearing apart this community. We're all doing the very, very best we can. And we all have so many different things that we have to take into account. It's not just that industry is here. It's not just that our citizens are here. It's not about that. It's about the betterment of the community and the county. That's what everybody wants. We just may have different ideas on how to do that. You know, I took this job because I wanted something more than just my private practice. I wanted something more than just to make a bunch of money, right? I'm 51 years old. I've been doing this for many, many years. I want something more when I'm done with this, whether that's after this election, if I get voted out, or whether I'm here for the next 10, 15 years. That's your decision. But there's not this effort to go behind your backs and do things that are wrong for the community. I don't feel that way. That's all I have to say, and I know you wanted to say something.
I think something that might be lost on people in the room is both Oliver County and Mercer County have a group of concerned citizens. What I think everyone might be missing is how much we love this community as well. Mm-hmm. And that's where we're coming from. And I confidently can speak about the members in my group, and I don't believe the vitriol that you're talking about has come from any members of either Oliver County or Mercer County concerned citizens.
Well, I think we'll have to agree to disagree.
Okay, and that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, but I appreciate, I believe from you, I believe that you're coming from this wholesomely and from a place of real concern about the county.
And that's...
Unfortunately, I can't say the same about others, and I really, really wish that if people had a problem with other people, such as myself or the commissioners, that you guys would come and talk to us directly, because my office is always open, my phone is always available, and I will never ignore somebody who's a citizen of this county because I was elected by you.
So Patrick, we are not, we understand that there has to be compromise. We're not disgruntled citizens that are saying it needs to be our way or no way. That's not where we're coming from. We want to voice our concerns and set really protective guardrails on any industry to protect all of the citizens of the communities that we love.
On this, you and I can agree 100%.
Which is the purpose of an ordinance, is to protect us, correct? Everybody can agree with that? I mean, the residents who live here, right?
That's one of the purposes of an ordinance, of course, and it should be the primary purpose, but ordinances typically exist to create rules for people that are coming into the community. When we're talking about an ordinance related to planning and zoning, the underlying principle always has to be what's the best of the county. Of course, right? Otherwise, what the hell are we doing, right? So that has to be the best of the county. But the ordinance itself also has to create ground rules for everybody that's a part of the game. Okay, it's not a game, but I don't know how else better to describe it. Everybody that's subject to doing business in Oliver County, being in Oliver County, being a citizen, there are rules we have to follow. And those rules have to be done in a way that it doesn't run afoul of law that can preempt what we do at the local level, right? Like, that's just truth. So there are some things that we are privileged to do as a county and create law, and we have to stay within that. And I know there's a group of people that thinks that we should, consequences be damned, that's what we have insurance for. You know, maybe you shouldn't be in your office because you don't want to take unnecessary risks. I've heard all that. Okay. You know, you have to be thoughtful about what you're doing when you're creating rules of people who come in here, because those rules cut both ways.
And Patrick, not to be
Chairman,
disrespectful.
Mr. Brett, yeah, Mr. Dahl.
I'm just gonna say what happened here today was disrespectful for the entire county. I'm disappointed with everybody on both sides. This is not, you bombard somebody with emails, you threaten to get them pulled out of their chair. That's not how Oliver County citizens do this. We were a family. We grew up that way here. Dave leaving is disrespectful on so many counts. This did not have to go this far. I'm honestly upset about it, okay?
We didn't.
Wait, let me finish speaking, please, okay? Because if not, I'm gonna lose my temper. I went to Dagley's. I asked them what their concerns were. They gave me two concerns. They were worried about the data center and the low frequency noises. Elizabeth has a health issue. Well, guess what? I got a bigger one. I trump everybody in the room. I got an artificial heart and I run on batteries every day, okay? So somebody telling me that is an insult. But I'm concerned about it just as much as Elizabeth is. We have to protect everybody, including you, everybody in the room, every citizen. There's a few citizens that are against it. I own the restaurant in town. There's hundreds of people come through there every week. The majority is for this, but they're not here because they're not upset. They don't feel it's going to harm them, so why show up? They're disconnected. Elizabeth has a very valid point. She has a health issue. So you know what? Let's bring that to the table. How do we stop that? How do we stop low frequency sounds? Well, it's simple. Same way they did it in Minnesota near the interstate. They put up sound barriers. You negotiate that. You don't get somebody to quit. Her other concern was the exhaust fumes, okay? Exhaust fumes. So I told her, I will look it up for you. I will take my time to look it up. I got a hold of them. There is 90 generators in each of the buildings they built, okay? I was told they would run 3 to 5 minutes. I told them, I want you to go to somebody that has the exact answer because I'm not giving Elizabeth a lie. I found out they run for an hour, okay? That's 90 hours per facility that those generators will run. They built 4 facilities. That's 360 hours worth of diesel pollution in the air. Well, guess what? Minn Kota's got 15 machines that they run how many hours a day?
6 to 1:30.
6 a.m. to 1:30. 5 days a week. 2,500 hours a week that we already have the diesel pollution in the air. The building is how tall? 40 feet?
Yep.
Probably a 10-foot stack on it?
It's like 43 feet, something like that.
Okay, 43 feet, 10-foot stack, possibly 8 foot?
Guessing.
Okay, 50 feet in the air. An exhaust out of a diesel engine runs at a minimum of 1,000 degrees. Where do you think that air is going? It's for sure not staying here. 1,000-degree air, basic science teaches us it goes up. It goes up, it dissipates. It's not going to be a concern. But those concerns need to be brought to this table so we can discuss them, put those concerns to rest. And the way this all took place, by you're going to recall Rob, you're going to bombard Dave with emails, you're going to call the lawyer a liar, that he's not in the best interest of the town. That's not true. But that's the way it feels to these people.
Well, it's worse than that. It's not how it feels, it's what I've heard. And
Okay,
I've seen.
so then it's fact.
Yes.
Then it's fact. They've been bombarded, they've been harassed. Who wants to sit in that chair? I'm running for that chair. for $18,000 a year. That's what, $1,300 a month maybe? Is that worth that type of harassment? Rob lost a cow yesterday because he was on the phone. Might not have been the only reason. The cow could have miscarried, who knows? But he was on the phone, wasn't attending to his cattle, and lost one of his livestock. Is that what we want? We cannot put rules into place for one group of people. You can't do it for the data center, the wind towers, and think Brad doesn't want to put up a barn. Well, you know what? If you put this 1 mile ordinance in or this 2 mile ordinance in, if Brad wants to put a barn on his house, he's got to get permission of his neighbors to put up a damn barn. Does that make sense? We have to be careful what we're wishing for here and what we're pushing through. Sit down and think of everything logically and let's bring it to the discussion table and not take forever to do it.
Yeah, but that kind of happens already. Because when you ask for a building permit, it has to run in the...
It runs through a circle for 17
There is
meetings.
people that can speak up about it.
But there is. But those are the ordinances that are in place that
Right.
allows those
Yes.
things to happen. And if I could just say one more thing,
Go
if
ahead.
you'd indulge me, thank you. Before I spoke today, I made sure that I did my homework. And I went and I talked to as many people in the county as I could find, just walking around the streets talking to people. I talked to more than 20 people. And I asked them, please, tell me what your concerns are. Personally went and I did. Not a single person that I talked to told me that they were against this project. I'm not saying that there aren't people that are against it, but I got a part-time position here, guys, and I went out of my way to do that. I know Rob has done it. I know Lee has done it. Like, please, this idea that your voices aren't being heard, I just don't understand it.
Patrick, I think something that you or a lot of people in the room might not understand, how many months and weeks and days and hours we've spent educating ourselves as well. And it is not for, we are trying to compromise and we are trying to establish really good guardrails for industry. That's our intention.
Ask Mr. Dagley's good.
Mr.
Dagley?
Nathan Dagley, Oliver County. I just wanted to say what's happened in here today is breaking my heart. What's been happening in our community is breaking my heart. Watching Dave walk out, he's been my friend. But yes, I've pushed him hard. I've been one of the people pushing. I've tried to be very respectful to him in my pushing. Part of the reason for the open records request was not because we thought you were all a bunch of liars or being controlled by someone else. And it felt to us, going back to through this whole thing, like the goalposts kept getting jerked, okay? And I didn't understand it. I didn't understand what was behind it. And so trust is a variable thing, okay? We have different levels of trust. It doesn't mean we don't respect the person we're struggling to trust. It means it's an issue in us. It's not always an issue in the one that's being distrusted. The open records request is a tool for transparency. Transparency builds trust, okay? Perhaps we were wrong in doing that. If that's what tipped Dave over the... I hope you guys hear what I'm saying.
Nathan, I want to speak to you specifically. You are not responsible for Dave Berger's choice. That is not on you. He made his choice, and your passion and your concern for your wife and your family, and you're wanting to understand this. Good on you. Dave's choice to leave is his choice. That is not your responsibility, nor is it our group's responsibility. That was never our intention, and it's a shame that he chose to do that.
Just adjourn it.
So, please understand that.
No, and we're not-
Well, there is one thing we have to talk about is now that there's been a resignation, we now have 2 commissioners, and I haven't looked at this.
Still
yet.
have 2.
Yeah, right.
Are you sure? Please?
So I
I
think.
tell you what, I don't say much at these meetings, because I listen. I listen to what everyone says. When somebody yells at me, I don't respond because I might say the wrong thing, but I take everything home. I think about it. So when everybody makes a statement, I remember what you said and I evaluate it. And I make a decision which I feel is best for the county. I don't respond because I've been a commissioner for 19 and a half years. When you respond to somebody that's yelling at me, it goes nowhere, it accomplishes nothing. But I do take it, I do accept what you say, I do go home, I evaluate, and I make the decision which is best for the county. Okay, that's all I'll say for now.
Good for you. Thank you.
All right, so I just do need to address the fact that now that a commissioner has resigned
Is that something to do today or
today,
first thing next
the
week?
commissioners now have to
Appoint today?
fill that vacancy until the.
You're fine.
That's a sign from above, people.
Time to go home. You're gonna run through commissioners.
Do we do that at the next committee?
Sorry, guys, give me just a moment, please.
You can, yes, we
Okay.
can start
We'll
fast.
do it, that's the first item of business at the next meeting.
Yes, but you should advertise for it. And then, because it's too soon for this coming election, they can petition to be on the general election.
In the fall.
I would
In
like
the
to
primary.
clarify that with the Secretary of State's
Yep,
office. so
we
I
just
know
did it in
what
Mercer
we're-
County,
yeah.
we just did it in Mercer County, so that's why.
I think one has to be appointed at this point, though, temporarily.
Great, but you can advertise for it first.
Community members immediately shall appoint some suitable person to fill the vacancy from the district in which the vacancy occurs. So immediately means immediately. So if you guys have nominations, you gotta address it and get someone now, and then.
Should we do a first item of business at the next meeting?
I would maybe do a special meeting on it because we need to evaluate what we're doing here.
Okay.
So I don't want to make a decision
Not
right now.
Today, I don't feel comfortable either.
So what Mercer County did is we advertised it. If whoever was interested in that open position, they were to fill in a notice of interest, give it to the auditor, and then those were given to the remaining commissioners, and then they could choose from there. Now, if you guys are dead set against, you want this person, then the county treasurer would come in and make the decision for you guys.
Who would?
The county treasurer, Laura. Laura would. So
please try to-
Yeah, it's in the century code, it's in the North Dakota century code, so.
So the two of us.
Lee and we'll come to an agreement.
Okay, all right,
Lee and I
so I
work
just
good
wanted you to.
together.
If a vacancy occurs within 95 days previous to election.
Too close to the election.
Yes, and no appointment can be made. Can I have some time to just review this?
Yes,
and then,
absolutely. And then get back to us when you have.
Yeah,
reviewed.
we're gonna need to have
Please call
a
us.
special meeting, but I'll give you both a call when I have an update.
I can call the Secretary of State's office also, because it's an election year, this makes it a lot more complicated.
Okay. Is there any further business to come before the meeting? If not, we're adjourned.